to afternoon mindful movement. We'll begin by just taking a few minutes to just breathe together in this comfortable seated position. Just to begin to land more and more here into this precious present moment, truly where all things are possible. And then when we move forward, we'll come to standing, and I'll give an introduction to the Sun Salutations, Surya Namaskar, with variations. And we'll move into some standing postures, again with variations. And then we'll do an inversion. And then we'll come into relaxation. So our practice together will be about an hour. And I encourage you to even just let go of the time and do whatever you can in any moment. That's all that we can do. All we can do is our best. But if you can carve out the time for an hour of mindful movement, your body, your mind, and your spirit will be really happy. And so I invite you just to come to a comfortable seated position, or if you're seated in a chair, that's fine. We'll just breathe together for a couple of minutes. And again, just letting go of time. Be here now. Be here in this breath, in this body. So sitting up nice and tall. Whether you're seated on the floor on some cushions or directly on the floor, if possible, you want to have your knees be at least as high as your hips, if not lower. So if you're seated in a chair, same. Drop your sits bones down into the support, into your bolster, into your blankets, into your chair. Feel your feet on the earth. If you're sitting in a chair, have your knees be coming straight out of your hips and the eye of your knee facing your toes, so your toes facing forward as well. And you can just press into the floor a little, lean forward, lean back, lean forward, rolling over on your sits bones and coming as best you can to right the exquisite center of your sits bones. And then drop, release the sits bones, release the very top of your thighs down into the earth. And lift up and open the heart chest. Roll the shoulders back. Let the weight of your front body drop into your back body. Feel your shoulder blades behind your back, bottom tips of the shoulder blades moving towards each other, and the top spine of your shoulder blades broadening. Elbows heavy, palms of the hands very light. And you can give a little press into your hands just to open up that heart chest again, to help to lift the chest. Lift and lengthen the side body up out of your legs. The legs release down, press down into the earth, but lengthen the side body, lengthen the crown of the head up towards the heavens. And let the spine flow freely and effortlessly through the space that you create. And having stabilized the body, find the breath. Taking in a few breaths, if possible, breathing in through your nose, and then exhaling out with a sigh. Breathing in through the nose. Exhaling out with a sigh, even a sound. One more time. Exhaling out in this way invites the parasympathetic nervous system to be more in control than the sympathetic sympathetic nervous system, which is that active go, go, go. So it allows your nervous system just to drop. And then breathing in and out through your nose if possible. Equal length inhalation and equal length exhalation for a couple of breath cycles. Samavriti, also soothing and calming for your nervous system. If you would like, you can relax your eyelids down, closing your eyes gently. Inner gaze to the back of the brain, the base of the skull, and reflecting down into your heart. And breathing in, saying to yourself, I know I am breathing in. And breathing out, say to yourself, I know I am breathing out. Instead of your mind, well, your mind will come up with thoughts. It's just what it does. But you can focus your thought on something else, like the breath. And it helps to actually say, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in a long breath. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out a long exhalation. Or breathing in, I know I'm breathing in a short inhalation. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out a short inhalation. Relaxing the jaw and the cheeks. Tip of the tongue barely touching the back of the teeth. For me, the lower teeth. Throat open. Arms releasing away from the trunk of the body. The trunk of the body releasing away from the arms. So to begin our mindful movement session, I'll invite you to come up to a standing position. We'll start standing today. And so there's a few ways that you can get up. And if you're down on the floor and you're not used to being down on the floor, then sometimes getting up off the floor is difficult. And so oftentimes we'll drag ourselves over to the side and kind of push ourselves up and drudge our way back up to standing. And so if you need to go to the side, instead of going to one side, go to the other side, just to change things up a little bit. Or if you like, there's a little bit of a yoga move that I use a lot to get up off the ground. And so you can start to, so in your seat, if you're in the seated position, take your hands to your side and just start to roll yourself forward. And you're going to start to come onto, your weight's going to come onto your shins, so be very careful about your knees and bearing weight on your knees. But so you can start to lift up. So bringing your hands to your side by your knees and lift up. And then so you practice this on your rug or your soft floor, or just practice it wherever you are, and you start to come forward. So with a little bit of momentum coming into the table position, and then you're on your knees, and then press into your hands and hop your feet. And then from there, you want to, with your bent knees, come up. Keep your back nice and long, and you can press into your knees to prop you up into standing. Ta-da! So this is Tadasana. It's also known as the mountain pose. And in some traditions, when you bring your arms up over the head, that's the full mountain pose. And the mountain pose is a posture that activates all of your 7 chakras, from your root chakra, your grounding, choice to live chakra, your emotional chakra, the sacral region, your willpower chakra, your heart center, your throat, third eye, and your crown chakra, seat of highest consciousness. So standing in Tadasana, we'll begin with a couple of sun breaths, and then we're going to begin to build sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. So if you have a chair, the best chair for yoga is one of these just classic folding chairs. So you can have that ready, but you can also have like a kitchen chair, and if you have a sticky mat, that's great. If you have a yoga mat, go grab your yoga mat. Today it'd be nice to have it, but it's not crucial. But one of the things about having a yoga mat and a chair is the chair is less likely to slide away. So I'm going to show variations of these postures with and without the chair. So even if you can just stick with this for the next couple of minutes and take some sun breaths, you're on the right track to freedom. And we'll just begin. I could go on and on. So we'll start with the hands at the heart. And Tadasana is with the hands at the heart and rolling the shoulders back, and then lift up the kneecaps. So if you lift up the toes, that'll start to activate your kneecaps, and then squeeze your butt, but then broaden the sits bones. So you have this internal rotation of the thighs. And don't push the knees back. So the knees, you could have the knees slightly bent. And with your toes lifted and your legs active, then you can lay the toes back down onto the floor. And notice if you can bring the balance of the weight onto the 4 corners of the feet. Right side, left side of the ball mound, and the whole heel, especially the outer and inner heel. And then we'll just begin with some sun breaths, inhaling the arms up over the head, pressing down into the earth, even as you lift up to the heavens, and then exhale them down. Hands back to the heart. Balance the center of the brain right over the center of the bowl of the pelvis, and the center of the bowl of the pelvis right in the center between your feet. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling them down. Inhale up. You can look up if it's comfortable. Exhale down. When you look up, lengthen through the back of the head. Exhale down. 3 more times. Inhale up. Stretch the fingers, reaching up into the sky. Exhaling down. Inhale up one more time. And exhaling down. Woo! Almost fell over. So I always like to remind people that this position of the arms up over the head is such the opposite of a mudra or position of depression when we're kind of all closed up like this. So bringing the arms out and opening the arms, spinning the arms, and sweeping the arms up over the head. And breathing is the antidote to depression. Simple. So we'll begin to add a forward extension. So you bring the arms up, sweep so your feet about hip width apart, knees facing forward, the eye and the knee facing the toes, just like if you're sitting, and taking the arms up over the head. And then sweeping the arms out to the side, taking your hands to your hips and your shoulders back, and then exhaling, coming forward. And then inhale back up, hands to the heart. So we'll do that a couple of times. So you don't want to be rounding. Keep the shoulders back and keep the heart lifted. And only go as far as you can, because the hamstrings will start to pull. If your hamstrings are tight, like most people, and then you don't want to strain the back. So inhaling the arms up, exhaling, sweeping them down, hands to the hip, and then lengthening forward. Bring the weight a little bit more to the toe side, not on the heel side. And then with your hands at your hips, roll the thighs back. And then inhale, look up. Hands back to the heart. And 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the hips. And then exhale, heart down. Inhale up. Exhale. Against the heart. Inhale up. Sweeping the arms, headed forward, maybe going a little bit deeper. You want to have a feeling that the skin is rolling up and over your buttocks. And only go as far as till you start to round the back or the shoulders start to come forward and round. And then pressing into the thighs with your hands, and then inhale, coming back up. So if you had a chair, you can inhale up and come down in the chair, and then press into the chair to come back up. And inhale and come down, and pressing into the chair, and then coming up. It's a quick pick-me-up. Coming down, and hold in your Uttanasana for a breath. This is Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. So if you have a chair, the chair is wicked nice. You can take your arms to the chair. You can have your hands on the chair. You can take your head to the chair. So if you can't touch your toes, a lot of people cannot touch your toes without rounding your back. Most people probably. And inhale the breath to come up to stand. And take a breath, or a few moments just to receive. Check in with your face, with your eyes. If your eyes are bulging, you want to back off a little bit. If you feel really dizzy or something like that, you want to back off. And take some breaths. You can breathe in through your mouth 1 or 2 times if you need to, but come back to the breath in, breathing in the nose. You can exhale out through your mouth. So conscious breathing, that's what makes it mindful. Whew. And then, so now we're going to add, we're going to step back, and we're going to add what is known as a Adho Mukha Svanasana, a downward facing dog. So again, you can use the chair to step back and step forward, Uttanasana, Urdhva Hastasana. So watch for a moment. Urdhva Hastasana, upward arms. Uttanasana, to the chair, hands to your hips, hands to your shins, hands to the floor. Look up and lengthen, and then step back, and then step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Am I coming out of the picture? Probably. I'm going to back up a little bit. My makeshift camera. So Namaste, Urdhva pressing through down into the earth, even as you lift up to the heavens. And then exhaling, sweeping, leading with the heart, Uttanasana. If you only go this far, that's great, maybe even this far. And then you can bend your knees, step to the floor, or put your hands on the chair, step, step, and then pushing back with your hips. Inner and outer legs moving back, lengthening the side body. Lifting up from underneath the arms, so not sinking down the arms. Elbows have a slight lift. And then look up, press down into the ground or the chair, step, step, Uttanasana. Press the ground, press your shins, bend your knees, something to come back up. Breathe, Urdhva Uttanasana. Namaste. Hands to the side. And just take a moment again to receive. So you might just stay here because it might have generated those actions might have generated a lot of blood flow to the head, and you might feel a little bit dizzy. So before you begin and you take another one, you want to check in. Soft eyes, relax your face, breathing. And then we'll take a couple more on your own time. Paying very close attention to the breath. Inhaling up, exhaling, coming forward, leading with the heart. Uttanasana. Lean forward till the weight comes more to your toe and look up and lengthen. And then with hands to the chair or hands to the floor with bent legs or straight. So bending legs is fine, but keep the shoulders back. Bent knees, shoulders back, step the leg, step the other leg, push back with the thighs, come way up onto the toes. And press into the hands and lift the belly. So belly lifts, lengthen, press in your hands. Elbows, a slight lift. And roll the shoulders back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then look forward and with some momentum, so you can come forward and back a little. And drop onto your knees if you need to, and carry your leg. Carry your leg. And then lean forward, inhale, Urdhva Namaste. Urdhva Uttanasana. Step your leg back, maybe step the other leg back, shoulders back. So from this lunge, shoulders back, weight into the hands, step the other leg back. Adho Mukha. Way up on your toes, push back. Inner arms lift, elbows lift, wrists lift. Inhale, exhale, look forward, come down onto your knees if you need, or swing the leg forward. Carry the leg if you need. Here's the chair, help you to get up, or the floor. Step, step. Surya Namaskar, salutations to the sun. Inhaling up. Exhaling, sweeping the arms. Inhale, look up and lengthen. With bent knees or straight legs, shoulders back. Step, opposite leg, step. Way up onto the toes, and then press the heels back, not down, but back. Let the head just hang. Your head, you should be able to kind of shake your head. On the exhale, when you're breathing out, draw the navel up. And keep that lift. And then again, come forward, either swing, step the leg, carry the leg, help it up. Pull the hip back. So you're in this lunge position, right? Your leg forward. Whichever forward leg, pull the hip back. And then step the other leg forward. Inhaling, Halasana. Feel your feet. Press into the earth as you lift your arms up. Exhale down. One more time, or just watch. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Hands to the chair if you like. Step, step. Adho Mukha. My chair's sliding. Don't want to have a sliding chair. You don't want to feel like precarious in your yoga. Adho Mukha. Step, step. Press to the floor. Inhale up. Exhale back. Relax the hands to lap. And breathe. Feel your feet on the floor. Squeeze your legs. Hug the muscles to the bone. If you can, then broaden the sits bones. Open up the back, open up the heart. Actually press the fingers slightly out, but down. Stretch through the spaces between the fingers. Feel the space around you. You feel your body, but notice the area, all the space around you, in front of you, behind you, and breathe. Relax the face. So we're going to add a upward facing dog here. So I'm going to give you variations. You can you can step back and step forward if you want, or you can just stay in the downward dog, either with or without the chair. When you go back, and then you're going to come forward, and then roll the shoulders back. Inhale, and then you're exhaling back. So if you have a chair, take a couple of upward and downward dogs. Downward. And then upward. So your legs are very active, even when you're going back and when you're going forward. I'm not sinking my pelvis, I'm lifting my pelvis. Exhale back. Inhale forward, shoulders back, exhale back. So heart comes forward, legs go back. Look up. Exhale back. So instead of doing the whole sun salutation, we'll just do up and down dog. If you're down on the floor, you take the table position. Press in, have the eye of your elbow facing each other. Go back and forth a few times. Coming forward, going back. Keep your shoulders back. Front and back, knowing where your toes are. So you're propelling yourself forward with your toes. And then you can come forward and then lift up. Take lift off. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then for your upward facing dog, look forward and then take the heart forward, but the legs are still very active. So lift the legs, not sinking, lifting. forth a few times, or take the child's pose and rest. Here, or with your chair, your trusty chair. Or 4 or 5 up and down dogs. Again, a nice quick pick-me-up. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, legs active, not sinking. Exhale back. So you can just go baby, up and down, or deeper. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. Your legs, your feet are about hip width apart. Even though it's called downward dog, everything is lifting. And then come down onto your knees. Rest in Vajrasana, or take the pose of the child if you feel like you want to take a deeper rest. So Vajrasana, sitting on your heels. And just notice the effects of this practice. Heat, a little aerobic exercise, soft gaze with your eyes. So if you find yourself staring and bulgy eyes, you know you need to take a longer break and be able to stabilize your breath. Sigh out if you need. So you don't really, you want to be aware if your heart is beating in your head. Let go of judging. Let go of anything that you don't need in this moment except for the breath. And then when you're ready, come back up to standing. So if you're on your knees, right? How do you come up? You can practice this throughout the day, coming forward and using your shins to press you up and give a little hop. Take a moment here and a breath. And then start to straighten your legs any amount. And then you can walk your hands up the legs and with bent legs or straight legs, inhale to come up and then breathe here. So even here, coming up to standing, maybe a little bit of a head rush. So take a breath or two. And then we'll take a couple of standing postures. Surya Namaskar. Sun salutations. If this was your first sun salutation, that's wonderful. If you have had many sun salutations in your life, that's wonderful too. But be here now. Be here now. And the way to be here now is to just breathe consciously, knowing that you're breathing. Relax face, relax jaw. Your limbs are relaxed, but the legs are relatively active. So you're not just sinking to the side or collapsing the shoulders. So there's a relaxed pose. It's not this militaristic active pose, but energy coming to energy all the way through your fingertips, your shoulder blades, crown of the head, the feet, energy. These postures that we'll move into are really good for our grounding and our rooting Muladhara chakra. And the Muladhara, that is your root. And it's our choice to live. It's where we have our fight or flight reaction. And so when we stabilize and balance out that Muladhara chakra, we have more of a potential to be calm abiding, instead of being thrown off course. So take the feet about 4 feet apart or so. And with your hands at your hips, we're going to take a Trikonasana, triangle pose. So spin your right leg out. Turn your left foot in slightly. You don't want to collapse that ankle, but turn your left foot in slightly and press into the inner and outer ankle. And then spin your right leg out. Tell your left leg, stay where it is. Don't collapse the ankle in. And look at your knee on your right leg, and your knee should be facing your toes. And then lift up that hip, and then hinge a couple of times. We're going to hinge at the hip. Hinge. So you can take your right hand at the top of the thigh and roll the thigh out or press the fingers in and hinge. So the side trunk is lengthening outward. You're not going to keep the right and the left side body the same length. And then we're at the couple of hinges, the furthest extension till you start to round the top of your ribs. This should be like a nice ski slope. Woo! Take your hand down and then roll open. Pull your right hip back. So you can use your left hand to pull the flesh back and let your right hip kind of roll forward. But then roll the waist around. Take the head back. Shoulders back. You might get a cramp in the top of your legs, so then let yourself come up. And then add the upper arms, stretching straight up. And then inhale, coming back up, and then bend that right knee. And then straighten it. And come back to center. Turn your right foot in and spin your left leg out, and then lift the hip back up. So from the forward facing Prasadita position, right foot turns in, spin the left leg out, and then tell that right leg not to move as we start to focus on the left. So equal weight on the heel and the bama. And then hinge at the hip. Hinge. You can already start taking your left hand behind your hip. Pull that hip back. Pull the hip back. So your sit bone should be in line with your heel. Left sit bone. Hinge. Hinge. And at the furthest extension, add the arm. Head back. And roll around. To come out, look down, bend that left leg, and then straighten it. Coming back to center. And Tadasana. Feet together. Trikonasana. Triangle pose. Be here now. Tadasana. Tada. Means here I am now. And then when you're ready, take the feet wide again. We'll meet here. And we're going to, same thing. Turn your left foot in, spin the right leg out. And then this time maybe a little wider. We're going to bend that right leg. Equal weight on your left foot. Don't collapse. Maybe even more weight on your outer heel. Toes are long. And then bend your right knee, but bend it towards your pinky toe. Touch and go. Touch and go. Watch the knee. Watch it. One or two more times, and then hold. Turn your waist around to the left side. Maybe add the arm. Pressing down, fingertips slightly up. Virabhadrasana, 1, 2, warrior. Heart open, proudly, fiercely looking out over your right hand. Stretch between the fingers. Your arms are like flying eagles, pressing down. And then inhale, exhale, extend out over that knee, and the elbow comes down to the knee, and then roll the trunk open. Head back. Parasvakonasana. This is your Parsva, your side angle, and extend out through the finger. Za. And roll open. And breathe. Shoulders back. Coming out of the pose, strongly from that back leg. Inhale the arms back up, straighten the leg, turn the feet back to center, and we'll do the other side. Be here now. And then turn your right foot in, spin your left foot out. Look at your feet. Toes are long, weight on the outside, maybe a little more on the outer heel. And then having established that leg on this side, we'll go to this side. So consciousness is sent to your right side, but now we're going to the left, expanding your consciousness. Bend the knee and then touch and go. Knee moves to the pinky toe side. 1 or 2 more times. Shoulders back, right? And then hold. Add the arms if you like. Fingertips slightly up. Pulling back with your left side. Roll a right side. Pull back a little. Roll from your left to the right. And look over your left. Relax your shoulders. And then extend out at the first, and then your elbow comes to your knee. Add the upper arm if you choose, up and over. Extending from the heel all the way to the fingertips. And to come out, extend all the way, ground through the heel and up the fingers, and coming back to center. And then let yourself come forward for a moment. Maybe you go all the way down. Maybe you're on your fingertips. Maybe you're on your knees. Breathe. Prasarita. And then walk your hands back up with a breath, a good breath. Inhale, exhale, feet back to center. Where are you now? Here. Tadasana. Be here now. Squeezing the butt just enough. Lift up out of the side. Lift the side body out of the hips. Active legs. Just till you get your breath back. Soft face. Relaxed. Great. So we're going to move into, being here now, before we move forward, I'll take it, we'll take some steps back. Standing poses are very excellent for grounding, for strengthening. They're like the foundations of the yoga pose, the yoga basics, and sun salutes as well. You're getting an up, you're getting a forward bend, you're getting a back bend. You're getting these extensions. You're lubricating your joints, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Lubricating. You may find that these joints have been frozen over the years. just try these movements a little bit every day. If there's a lot of instruction and you feel like you've missed the instruction, go back. You can save these videos for yourself. On the top of the post, there's like 3 little dots. You click on it. And plus, I put them up on the YouTube. So these basic yoga movements, I don't think you can get enough of this instruction for the first couple of years. Letting that go. Just come back tomorrow if you can, whatever we do tomorrow. I try to link all this stuff together. Don't despair. You've got a lifetime of yoga ahead of you. I hope that I can make it interesting, or at least intriguing for you. And so speaking of which, so if you have a couch, bring your device over so you can, or else just watch. So we're going to take a shoulder stand, and this is going to be about, and then we'll go into relaxation. So if you want to just watch for now, that's great. If you can participate, that's great too. Remember, you have your whole lifetime, your whole life to practice yoga. I truly believe that. So guess what? We're going to go upside down. And we're going to, so you come up to your couch. This is what I mean by an interesting shoulder stand. You're going to come up to your couch and you're going to sit forward, and then you're going to roll over where your shoulders are going to be at the, and then you're going to, so then here you are. Can you see me? Ah, kitty. Kitty down. Maybe I'll bring you a little bit more forward. All right. Let's see if you can see that. Phone down. Okay. Ooh. So professional. Okay, here we go. So you want to get upside down. It's really good for everything. And then, so you're coming here and your legs are up the top of the couch, and then you slide, you take your elbows to the back of the front of the couch and slide yourself off. The ground is there. It will catch you. And then roll your shoulders underneath you. You can take hold of my futon is awesome. And then roll your shoulders back and down. You can just stay right here. Chin lifts away from the sternum. Catch your breath. It'll come faster. But try to smooth it out. Press into your arms to lift the chest, so you're not just sinking the chest. Press into the arms, lifting the chest. Holding on to the back of your couch. You can lift your legs. Don't turn your head in this pose. So I should have said that beforehand. And to slide all the way up and roll it to the side. Don't turn your head into Sarvangasana. So I should have said that in advance so that maybe you did watch first to see what the heck she's doing. I'll show again. So you sit to the back of the chair, because I want to make sure that you can see me. And then I'm going to look down at my couch. And then I'm going to roll my shoulder. And then bring my other shoulder around. And then take a breath, take a moment here, just to different relationship to gravity. Head back. And then with a breath and a small prayer, sliding off, head touches lightly. My hips are staying on the couch. So I've got my hips on the couch. I think I slid off too far. So I'm going to slide myself back. And then you can take the knees toward your chest and maybe stretch out the legs, maybe spend time here. And then your chin lifts. So you're not pressing your chin into your heart. And then you press your arms in to lift the heart. The weight should be equally balanced on the shoulders and some of the weight on the head and the sacrum. Soft eyes. Active feet. Press through the heels, press through the toes. My feet are active. So my legs are doing Tadasana. Imagine that. Especially if you lift the legs up. Refresh your heart lift every once in a while by pressing into your arms. Smooth out the breath. It will come quicker. You can take the legs all the way over. Like downward dog, they're still lifting. But don't sink the chest. Halasana, plow pose. Or just stay here. Plow pose. And one more really nice posture for all of your organs of generation and regeneration, your sacral chakra, your emotional chakra. You take your knees wide and your feet together. So you bend your knees and then the knees come wide and the feet come together. And you sense, don't think, but go with feeling, breathing, feeling, not thinking. Refresh the heart lift. And then to take relaxation, very carefully slide off. Catch yourself. Slide off, spend the time, stay right where you are with your knees on the couch if you like. Soft eyes. When you feel ready, you can close your eyes. If you want to come up, you roll to the side or stay here. We have 5 minutes of relaxation. Lift up the heart and come on, roll your shoulders underneath you a little bit. Just very gently turn your head from side to side. Balance the weight on the back of your head and the shoulders. Stay present with the breath. Stay present with sensation. Let go of thoughts. You can say to yourself, good job. And thank your body, thank your mind. And then see if you can begin to once again trace your breath. Just be aware of it. Relax your jaw. Relax your cheeks. Invite the outer corners of your eyes to release outward towards the temples. And invite the inner corners of the eyes to drop back to the base of the skull. Tip of the tongue barely touching the back of the teeth, and relax the tongue from the tip of the tongue all the way back to the root of the tongue so the throat is open. Maybe taking a couple of consciously deeper breaths and maybe even sighing out again to drop your nervous system. keep track of the time, and when you hear the bell ring 3 times, in a couple minutes, slowly stay where you are. See if you can drop a little deeper, and I'll guide you out. Palms soft, fingers lightly curled. Feel the vibration, feel the energy, and see if you can be present when everything calms down a little. It'll take a minute, couple of minutes for the heart to slow down, for the nervous system to quieten, and to integrate this pretty strong work that you did today. So stay present with sensation, let go of judging. If you're aware of your thoughts rising, invite your attention back to the breath. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in, and breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Having heard the bell, giving a deep listening if you can hear it, dropping perhaps a little deeper. Knowing full well it's going to be time to roll over and come back into your day in normal waking consciousness. So relish the moments, the timeless moments of being present just with your breath. And then inviting your inhalations to be a little bit deeper and your exhalations a little bit longer. And trace your breath as it percolates outward once again to your fingers and your toes. So this is on your time. Take care to not rush to sit back up. when you feel little micro movements become more macro movements. So first kind of wiggling your fingers and your toes. Really stay present with that sense of turning inward and just with the breath. Relish these precious present moments in the here and now. Take the best advantage possible for your nervous system to normalize so that when you roll over, take your time, rolling over to your side, curl your knees to your chest. Use your bottom arm like a pillow. Take a few breaths there. Just breathing, just feeling, allowing. And when you feel ready, then pressing yourself up with your top arm, let the head and the heart come up last. Breathing, and then take your seated position for a moment. This is a perfect time to spend a few minutes in a meditative posture, staying present with the breath and the spaces between the breaths. Balance the center of your brain right over the center of your throat right over the center of your heart. Center of your heart right over the center of the bowl of the pelvis. Is if you dropped a pillar down from the heavens, it would go straight down your Sushumna. Relax your eyes and your jaws. I wanted to say a few words about Sarvangasana if you have a minute. The importance of Sarvangasana, your shoulder stand, cannot be overemphasized. And this is from my teacher's teacher, my tradition of Iyengar yoga, which aims to bring consciousness to every cell of the body and delivers the yoga practice for all individuals. So no matter what your situation is, no matter what your physical body is, you can practice Iyengar yoga. You don't obviously, well, hopefully, you can see from my classes, you don't need to touch your toes. You don't need to bring your arms up over your head. There's always variations and support. Sarvangasana, it is one of the greatest boons conferred onto humanity by our ancient sages. Sarvangasana is the mother of asanas. And as a mother strives for harmony and happiness in the home, so this asana strives for the harmony and happiness in the human system. It is a panacea for most common ailments. There are several endocrine organs or ductless glands in the human system which bathe in blood, absorbs the nutriments from the blood, and secrete hormones for the proper functioning of a balanced and well-developed body and brain. And if these glands fail to function properly, the hormones are not produced as they should be, and the body starts to deteriorate. Amazingly enough, many of the asanas have a direct effect on the glands and help them to function properly. And Sarvangasana does this for the thyroid and parathyroid glands, which are situated in the neck region. Since due to the firm chin lock, their blood supply is increased. And with the inversion, the venous blood flows to the heart without any strain by force of gravity, so we get healthy blood, allowing to circulate. New nerves are soothed. Good for your immune system. Excellent for those suffering from hypertension and irritation and shortness of temper. So those are some of the benefits of this restorative posture. I meant to say, and so be careful if you have untreated high blood pressure. You don't want to take a strong shoulder stand. Going back in this way, you can tell if you're aware of your body and your symptoms. that you wanted to just slide right off. But if you gradually just take your head back, don't maybe even slide back on the chair, on your support. You just spend time with your legs up, and you'll still get some of the benefits. Also activates the abdominal organs and relieves people suffering from stomach and intestinal ulcers, and colitis. And so, again, just some of the benefits. So having heard all that, just take a breath and let it go. And move forward in your afternoon with a sense of joyous gratitude. Go calmly and courageously forward into your day. Spend time right here in this seated position for a few minutes if you can. Your body is perfectly ready for meditation. And I'll close. Oh, I just want to say, I can't move forward without giving some sort of a poem. Something that's inspiring. And so I'll read, Aurelius Angelus Salutations, God, whose joy and love are present everywhere, can't come to visit you unless you aren't there. Being in the present moment with all that is not being there attached to thoughts, mental formations, attached to emotions. It's just being here now in the divine. Great Spirit. The highest, clearest vibration of the universe creating itself can visit you and can be you, because you are that. Om. 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 Om Purnamada Purnamadam Pranamadachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamaviva Vishishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. And I dedicate, as always, the merit and the virtue gathered through this practice and through this offering to the lasting happiness of all beings, so all beings may be free from suffering and the causes and conditions of suffering, and all beings may be happy with the causes and conditions of happiness. Namaste. Go in peace, my friends, and my family as well. Annie, Steve, Judy, Kathy, Henry. Oh, my Aunt Rita, my godmother. I hope you're still with me. You are still with me, one way or another. Camille, my friend. I miss you. Miss you all. Thomas, Kathy, anybody else that joined. And so always I will be making this video available on my humble YouTube channel. So please feel free to like and share and revisit these very important postures. Always do your best. Peace.